Welcome to Module 1 of the Climate Adaptation and Resilience Training Programme. Funded by the Welsh Government, this training is designed specifically for food and drink manufacturers in Wales. Our aim, to help you understand how climate change could impact your business, both now and in the future. This module is supported by a workbook providing more detailed information and insight into the topics we're about to cover. In this session, we'll explore how climate change may already be affecting your operations and what future impacts you might need to prepare for. By the end of this module, you will have a clear understanding of the impacts and consequences of climate change with a specific focus on Wales. We'll introduce key terms around climate adaptation, explaining how it differs from climate mitigation and why both are crucial. You'll also learn how to use a powerful change management tool, Covey's circles of control, influence and concern, to break down this complex subject into manageable steps. Let's begin by taking a closer look at the evidence. Climate change is not new. The Earth has experienced shifts before, but until recently these were caused by natural processes. Since the Industrial Revolution, however, human activities, especially the burning of fossil fuels, have rapidly accelerated global warming. Recent data shows this starkly. The charts on the left-hand side need little explanation. The increasing red lines show the increasing temperatures which Swansea has experienced since the mid-1990s, and this trend is not unique to Wales. In 2023 to 2024, global temperatures reached 1.5 degrees centigrade above pre-industrial levels, a serious warning that we're approaching a threshold we've long tried to avoid, and one that reminds us how close we are to exceeding global targets. Before we go further, let's clarify some key terms. Mitigation refers to actions that reduce greenhouse gas emissions, things like net zero strategies and waste reduction. Adaptation, on the other hand, accepts that climate change is happening now. It focuses on how we respond to current and future risks or take advantage of potential opportunities. Both mitigation and adaptation are essential. Impacts from climate change can be sudden, like storms or heat waves, and are known as climate shock events. Other impacts are more gradual and insidious, like repeated droughts or heavy rainfall, eroding topsoil and damaging infrastructure. These are known as climate stresses. It's useful to understand how influential organisations are shaping policy areas and providing evidence about climate change. The Climate Change Committee advises UK government and devolved governments on progress towards climate adaptation strategies and net zero. The United Nations Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change promotes global cooperation. The Welsh Government, which declared a climate emergency back in 2019, and the Food Division funds this training and supports decarbonisation efforts, including tailored carbon reduction plans. And the UK Met Office, Natural Resources Wales and the FDF are all active in providing research and insight into climate change and adaptation. Wales is already feeling the effects of climate change. In 2023, we experienced record-breaking temperatures in September, followed by a succession of storms that caused flooding, transport disruption and power outages. Storm Dara in December 2024 was equally as devastating, causing significant damage to infrastructure such as the Port of Holyhead. This has been followed by the dry, fire-prone conditions in spring 2025, which have only reinforced the reality of a changing climate. Looking ahead to 2050, we expect summer temperatures in Wales to rise by over 1.3 degrees centigrade and summer rainfall to drop by 16%. Sea levels are projected to rise, threatening communities, businesses, key roads and infrastructure. By 2080, the outlook is even more severe. While those dates might seem far off, as we've seen, the changes are already underway. Taking steps now can reduce costs later and strengthen business resilience. The Climate Change Committee has identified 61 risks and opportunities related to climate change in the UK. 34 of these risks require urgent action. This slide shows a specific summary for Wales and highlights these most pressing risks for our region. The Climate Change Committee further recommends planning and adapting for a 2 degrees centigrade temperature rise and risk assessing for a potential 4 degrees centigrade increase. We asked food and drink businesses across Wales how they thought climate change would impact various aspects of their business. They identified premises, storage facilities, and supply chains as top concerns being affected by storm damage and flooding. Interestingly, risks like wildfires and coastal erosion were seen as less relevant, but that perception may change with time and greater awareness, and as conditions evolve. Wales faces some unique challenges. Our long and beautiful coastline puts communities, businesses, infrastructure, and transport routes at risk of flooding. Our industrial heritage also adds further risk, such as coal tips and mines that can lead to landslides or sinkholes. It's easy to feel overwhelmed by the scale of climate change, but tools like Covey's circles of control, influence, and concern help break it down. Start with what you can directly control, like your internal operations. Then look at what you can influence, like supply chains or partnerships that you may have. And finally, recognize what may be outside of your control, like global policies, so you can focus your efforts where it matters most. Take a look at the business areas on this slide. Think about where they fit into your own circles of control, influence, or concern. This exercise helps you to prioritize actions and develop your own climate adaptation strategy. Thinking about the benefits of being climate ready, this is not just a defensive strategy, it's smart business. You could reduce long-term costs by planning now. For instance, flood prevention is likely to be cheaper than cleaning up after a flood to release your production facilities to a food-safe standard. Thorough business continuity planning and being prepared for these types of interruptions will help you recover faster from disruptions and protect your cash flow. Climate change, as we'll see in later modules, is bringing about new opportunities, which, in combination with managing the associated risks, could give you a competitive advantage. And finally, being prepared gives you a competitive edge. By showing the steps you are taking to be a resilient supplier, you will strengthen your trusted relationships with customers and partners. This training program is here to support you. We'll introduce tools and techniques for managing risks and change and show how to embed climate thinking into both strategic and daily decisions. As you'll see when you complete further modules, not all adaptations are costly investments. Some are practical actions which fit into your day-to-day work schedule. Our goal is to help you create a climate conscious mindset for your business, identify practical steps, and build long-term resilience. In this first module, we have explored climate change impacts in Wales and introduced key terminology and adaptation concepts. You have also been introduced to a practical tool to help you take action with confidence, and we've highlighted the benefits of being climate ready. Let's wrap up with two questions to reflect upon. What could climate change mean for your business? And what can you control or influence? And where might you be spending energy on things you simply can't change? If this has sparked your interest, then join us for Module 2. We'll dive into risk and change management and introduce our climate conscious analysis and critical climate points model, or CASSUP, which is our step-by-step method for assessing vulnerabilities and planning adaptations. Thank you for joining us for Module 1. Don't forget, there is a workbook which supports this module, containing more detailed information and insight into the areas covered in this session. We hope you're feeling more informed, more confident, and ready to begin your journey towards climate adaptation and resilience.